Get closer to the winter illness season, some doctors are raising concerns about delays in getting RSV shots for babies and toddlers.
WKYT's Jessica Umbro spoke with one Lexington pediatrician who explains how even with supply and demand, parents are still struggling to get their little ones vaccinated.
Today I had a patient, a 1-month-old, who had gotten RSV and was already very sick with it, and mom, kind of lamented like, oh, I wish we had already had this available and we could have maybe limited the amount of sickness that she had.
RSV is a respiratory virus whose peak season runs from October to February. Dr. Caitlin Iddings of the Pediatric and Adolescent Associates says RSV is one of the leading causes of hospitalization for children under 5 during fall and winter months, with between 60 and 80,000 kids being hospitalized each peak season. And while a vaccine was approved earlier in the summer, insurance isn't footing the bill.
We want these kids to get this. We want them to have that protection, but it's still just this waiting game. Is it going to be covered? Are we going to be able to financially afford to give this to patients? Are patients going to be able to financially pay for it if insurance isn't covering it?
Dr. Iddings tells me that supply is not the issue here, and parents are actively seeking out this vaccination. However, she tells me that as a small business, it's not just difficult for the parents to front the cost, but it is for the businesses as well.
You would think that's kind of small potatoes when you're talking about a baby having to be hospitalized and spending thousands of dollars in the hospital, but as a small business, we can't really just pay for every kid to have this vaccine if we're going to be footing the bill for $500.
Dr. Iddings says both parents and practices are in a state of limbo as this year's peak RSV season ramps up.
We do have quite a few that are asking us every week, when is this going to be available? It's a waiting game, and we keep telling people as soon as we have it, we're going to have it in here and available for you.
In Lexington, Jessica Umbro, WKYT.
If you haven't been able to get the shot, doctors do recommend taking precautions by having your child stay home from daycare if they're sick and help them to stay on top of basic ways to fight germs like regularly washing hands.
Well,